Hey guys, it's Papanasi here, and today I'm going to be making a video about Warhammer Chaos and Conquest. I'm going to be specifically talking about what you need in order to run a Tier 4 Warband. Okay, now this is designed for Tier 4 players, not for Tier 5. So first thing that you're going to need is your War Council. My War Council here is only level 23, that's fine. Right? A level 23 War Council gives me a march capacity of 2 million in my Warband. With Tier 4 players, that's probably around 5 or 6 players. That's plenty for if I'm just doing regular PvP. Obviously, the more capacity you have, the more players you can get in, but most of the time, you're not going to be leading a huge warband against something. Just 5 or 6 players is going to be sufficient. Next, we're going to be looking at our gear. So we've got Gauntlets of the Chosen here. This is the most important piece of gear for you to get. See, here at Core, it's useless. At Uncommon, it's useless. But however, once we get to Rare, we get a Warband combat bonus of 5%. This increases to 12.5% and 25% as we upgrade to Epic and Legendary. Now, what Warband combat bonus does is it adds that percentage to attack, damage, armor, and health. So a 25% Warband combat bonus is effectively plus 100% worth of buffs. Okay. Now, if you don't have it at Legendary, don't worry too much, but the higher that you can get it, the better. The higher you can get all of your rituals, the better. But that's one of the items to focus on. The next thing to focus on is your rituals. Here we've got Warband, in Unholy rituals, we've got Warband capacity, Warband speed, Warband capacity, Warband speed. These are nice to have, but they're not hugely important. The really important one here is your Unholy Crusade. Okay, this here increases your Warband combat bonus. At level 26, you can get it to a maximum of 6%. At Keep 27, you can get it to 10%. I'm not sure what the requirement is for level 10. But that is a hugely important ritual to have. Also, of course, you want to have your other rituals maxed out if possible. So you want to have your, because we're attacking, we want to have our attack rituals and our damage rituals. Right? Those are the most important rituals for when you're running a warband. You also, of course, want to have your armor and your health rituals maxed out for your chosen tanks. And of course, in military, you've got rituals. We have Feel No Pain. You want to have that maxed out, level 10, as that gives you 40% health to all of your troops. And if you're using a god-based unit, then in demonic rituals, you want to have Demon Resilience maxed out as high as you can for your keep level, as that gives health to all of your demonic units. You also want to have the armor here for whichever type of god it is that's tanking for you. You want to have that maxed out as much as possible. And as well, you want to have Fungoid Form and Cloak of Flames maxed as high as you can if you are using Warriors of Siege or the equivalent rituals if you're using another god type unit to tank. Speaking of tanks, the tanks that you will most likely want are Chaos Warriors of Siege. Okay, these are generally speaking the best tier 3 tanks, and your tanks, there's a good chance that a lot of your tanks are going to die. So using tier 3 tanks is great because it means that if they die, you don't care as much because they're cheap to replace. Okay, the other really good tanks at tier 3 are Bile Trolls. Okay, both Bile Trolls and Warriors of Siege just have really, really high stats compared to other tier 3 units. If you're using tier 4 tanks, then there's lots of different options there. Okay, so those are the main things, and then the other thing we've got is Skulltaker. You need to have Skulltaker for a tier 4 warband. This is primarily because of the warband combat bonus for plus 20%. So that's 80% worth of stats. But then also as well, we've got infantry melee attack bonus, which will buff our chosen. Khorne melee attack, melee damage bonus, which will of course buff our Knights of Khorne. But the best effect of these is that when we use Forsaken of Khorne or Skulltakers, they're getting both the infantry damage, the infantry attack, and the Khorne damage. So they're getting 80% worth of buffs, in addition to the 80% they're getting from the Warband combat bonus. So that makes what are already incredibly hard-hitting units hit even harder. In general, for the units that you'll want in your Warband, you will want to prioritize Skulltakers, Chosen, Knights of Khorne, Forsaken of Khorne, and then Knights of Siege. These are in that order. These are likely the 5 highest damage dealers for you. Everybody's stats are different, so yours might be in a different order to mine. But though that's in general a good sort of priority list for when if you don't have something that's worked out your stats for you. And other than that, you want everybody in the Warband to send a decent amount of Warriors of Siege, because they're going to be tanking, they're going to be dying. Every one of them that dies is a tier 4 unit that doesn't. So make sure that you have enough tanks. But we'll get more onto that in the next video. This is just how to prepare for Warband, things that you need to work on before you make your Warband. Anyway, I hope this has been useful, and I will catch you all later. Thank you.